Hi class, I have an appointment today, so I will not be in. I have made a video for the substitute to follow. So what I need for you to do right now is to open your Chromebook, log in. When you are done with that, please turn in the Fair Game Review homework assignment from Friday, which was page 141 and 142. I would then like you to spend 12 minutes on your Dreambox lessons. Remember, 7 lessons are 5 extra credit points. We will then do an introduction to lesson 7-1, and you will get some time to do some homework. Please pause the video for 12 minutes to allow them to work on Dreambox, and then start the video back up in about 12 minutes. For a warm-up today, I would like for you to attempt to come up with the answers for these 6 problems. Please pause the video to allow students a couple minutes to try to get the 6 answers, and when you come back we will go over the answers. Hopefully you were able to get that 12 times 12 is 144, 9 times 9 is 81, 18 times 18 is 324, 1 6/10 times 1 6/10 is 2 56/100. 2 5/10 times 2 5/10 is 6 25/100. And 2/3 times 2/3 is 4/9. Today we are going to be working on square roots. And our essential question today is, how can you find the dimensions of a square or a circle when you are given its area? Our first sample exercise, we have an area of 121 square feet. We know that it is a square, and the area is base times height. So we have S times S. So S has to be the same. So we know that the square root of 121 is 11 feet. We can check that by saying 11 times 11 is 121. Thus the answer of the side is 11 feet. Please take a minute or two to see if you can do letter B, C, and D, finding the area of 81 square yards, the area of 324 square centimeters, and the area of 361 square miles. Pause the video for a minute or two while the students should try to come up with the square root of those. Hopefully, students, you were able to come up with 9 for the first one. 9 times 9 is 81. Our second one, 18 times 18 is 324. And finally, 19 times 19 is 361. Please try the last 3 problems, E, F, and G, finding the area of 225 square miles, the area of 2 89/100ths of an inch squared, and find the area of 4/9 square feet. Pause the video for a minute or two and see if the students can get them. Hopefully you were able to get the answers for these 3 problems. In problem E, 15 times 15 is 225 square miles, so each side is 15 miles. In problem F, 1 7/10, 1.7 multiplied by itself will give us 2 89/100. So our answer is 1.7 inches. In G, the area is 4/9, and therefore we take 2/3 times 2/3. 2/3 of a foot is each side. In our next set of examples, we are trying to find the area of a circle. You may recall that the area of a circle is pi r squared. In our first 2 examples, we need to find out what times itself will equal 36 pi square inches. And in the second one, we need to find out what times itself times pi will equal pi square yards. Please pause the video, see if students can figure those out in 1 minute. In the first example, If we have a radius of 6 times 6 is 36, we then multiply that by pi to get our answer of 36 pi square inches. So the radius in this case is 6. In our second example, r times pi, if we put 1 in, 1 times pi is pi square yards. Please see if you can do the last two, problems C and D. Pause the video for a minute to allow students to come up with that answer. Hopefully you were able to finish problems C and D. In this case, 5/10 or 0.5 times 0.5 will give us 0.25. When we multiply that by pi, we get 0.25 pi. So our radius is 0.5 or half of a foot. In problem D, when we multiply something by itself to get 9/16, we should be able to take 3/4 times 3/4. 3 times 3 is that 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Multiply that by pi, and we will get our answer. So the radius in problem D is 3/4. In our next activity, I would like for each of you to try to match the square root with the correct answer. Please pause the video again for a minute while students match those. When we match each of these, we know that 40 times 40 is the square root of 1600. We know that 20 times 20 is 400, the square root. We know that 12 times 12 gives us 144, and 6 times 6 is 36. Therefore, we have D, B, A, and C for our answers. Our final activity will be to come up with these dimensions. Remember, a square is base times height, so we're taking the square root of the area for number 1 and number 4. And in 2 and 3, we are working on pi r squared, so we are taking r times itself, taking the square root of that and the square root of that in front of the pi. Please pause the video for our last activity. Hopefully you had time to finish up the problems 1 through 4. In the first one, we know that the square root of 81 is 9, so 9 times 9 is our 81 square inches. In number 2, we know that 13 times 13 gives us 169, so 169 times pi is 169 square centimeters. Therefore, the radius is 13. In number 3, we've done this problem already. We know that the radius is 1. 1 times 1 is 1 times that pi gives us pi square yards, or 1 pi square yards. And in the last one, we know that 1 and 5/10, 1.5 times 1.5 will give us 2 and 25/100, or 2.25. Today's homework is in the workbook, page 146, problems 1 through 10. For those of you who do not have a workbook, I have some worksheets on the desk that you may take. Please spend the rest of the time working on your homework, the workbook, page 146, problems 1 through 10. This will be due on Tuesday in class. Thanks and have a great day.